It's got that sweet and sour component I was talking about. It's got tannin, it's structured. This is a pretty darn complete wine. I'm Matthew Horkey. For the last 7 years, I've traveled around the world tasting thousands of wines annually in search of the most unique, exciting, and expensive bottles on the planet. This is the most excited I've been to do a video in a long time, maybe ever. It's taken me over 6 months to secure all these samples. Today, we're gonna do a little Sangiovese showdown. Sangiovese is the most widely planted grape in all of Italy. At the turn of the 21st century, 1 in every 10 vines in Italy is Sangiovese. The spiritual homeland of Sangiovese is in the center of Italy. The most famous appellations are Chianti Classico, Brunello di Montalcino, Vino Nobile di Montepulciano, which we have examples from here. But the grape actually might be from Emilia-Romagna, the province to the north. You also see it further south in Umbria, Marche. It's so funny because oddly enough, Sangiovese is the most planted variety in Puglia, where they produce a lot of bulk wine, but you don't see a lot of Salento IGTs or Pugliese wines labeled as Sangiovese. Sometimes you wonder, where do all those grapes, or where does all that wine go to? It's not always an easy grape to like. It's got a lot of acidity. Sometimes people think it's too sour. It can have a lot of tannins. It can really bite. I remember when I was shooting a video in Tuscany and I met up with some Americans and they were surprised, like, actually, I don't really like the wines that much. And I was like, what? The tannins are a little bit too sharp, aggressive, right? And they said, yeah. But it's my first love when it comes to fine wine. I've never strayed. I've always just loved the grape to death. The most famous appellations for Sangiovese is what I just mentioned: Chianti Classico, Brunello di Montalcino, Vino Nobile di Montepulciano, and maybe Toscana IGTs or Super Tuscans. However, in addition to those 4, I have 6 other appellations here that are famous for Sangiovese. We're gonna blind taste them. Since there's a lot of Sangiovese being made in Italy, it's notorious for having quality all over the place. The wines can be really cheap or really, really expensive. Everything we have here is on the higher quality of the scale, everything from $22 all the way up to $90. However, most of the wines fall in the $30 range, where I think you're gonna find a lot of value. When I do most of these blind tasting videos, it's a balance between what I can get, what I have, how I can pitch to producers to send me some samples, what you would like, what would get views. But this video is not altruistic. It's all about me. I wanted to compare these appellations side by side. I wanted to taste these wines, and afterwards I want to drink them because I love them. You ready? I'm ready. Let's get going. I know these are premium wines, but I'm not tasting on my Gabriel glass standards. I'm tasting out of my Rovsya wine glasses. Yes, these are the best inexpensive wine glasses I've ever used, and they work really nice with expensive wines. I bought these a year ago for a Chardonnay blind tasting video. Liked them so much I bought a second set, and every time I drink out of them, I'm like, wow, I need to use these more. I have a link in the description box, so if you want to purchase them with that link, it helps the channel a lot. So I appreciate it. So I Coravin these, had somebody mix them up. I'm ready to taste these. Look at this. What I love about great Sangiovese, it's got that sour cherry fruit, tobacco, it's earthy. It's got this perfect combination of like this sweet and sour fruit. Exactly what I want Sangiovese. Strawberry, sour cherry, raspberry, a little bit of earth. It already smells really, really nice, especially because I have to manage my weight. One thing that I've really gotten to the point of is not worrying about, oh, I don't need to drink every single drop, every sample that I get. So I share them with friends and family a lot of times. But it's gonna be kind of hard to stay away from these wines. Number 1 is just pure what I want in Sangiovese. It's more medium bodied. It's just pure and really nice. Wine 2 has more oak. It's a little darker, has more kind of that balsamic note, a little bit of leather. This is all pure fruit. This has the wood, and it has those kind of traditional Tuscan flavors that I like. 2's got a little bit more length, a little more complexity. 1 to me is like what I want every day as a bistro wine. 2's got a little bit more complexity. Both gorgeous wines. That's what I love about Sangiovese too. They can be simple wines or they can be pretty serious too. Sangiovese's late ripening grape, usually with the exception of Pinot Noir, late ripening grapes offer the most complexity when it comes to wine because there's just time for them to develop flavors. That's why a lot of people love Cabernet Sauvignon, things like Aglianico. Just like people, you want a woman that's just been hot all the time, or somebody that maybe started out as a little bit shy, a little dorkier, and developed personality over the same thing with girls and guys. Usually want a man that's had some experience in life and just kind of matured over time. Let's go on to wine 3 here. Wine 3 is a little bit dusty. Not showing me a ton right now. Once I shake it out, this one is a little more earthy, got a little bit of barnyard type flavor, which I like, the funkiness. Wine 3 is just really shy right now. It's not showing its best. It's not showing a lot of fruit. It's more earthy notes. I can tell it's Sangiovese. It's a good wine. It's just kind of closed off right now. It's not revealing everything to me at the moment, but on the palate, the structure, the length, I can feel it's a good wine. Let's go down wine number 4 here. Wine 4, more darker raspberry type notes. A little bit of oak pepper. This is the dense one, whatever this is. Oh, it's really tart. Got length, got a little bit more wood, but this is Sangiovese that I think a lot of people are going to be able to appreciate. A little bit bigger, a little bit riper, a little bit more round polish with the oak, although it does have tannin. I don't know 100% if I could call it Sangiovese blind, like if it was double blind at all, but in general, it's a good wine. Let's go back to wine 3. Wine 3 is good. Again, it's not showing me everything yet. Oh, wine 5 is really pretty. Raspberry, flower, sour cherry, floral. It's just got this nice clean flavor. Got length. It's got that sweet and sour component I was talking about. It's got tannin. It's structured. This is a pretty darn complete wine. I mean, it's really good. Okay, let's move on to wine 6 here. Wine 6 also shows a little bit more wood, a little bit more dense. When I think of Sangiovese, I want sour cherry like wine 1. Maybe he's not gonna get the highest score out of everything, but that's gonna fool a lot of people because it's kind of the wine that I want to drink more. It's got the pure Sangiovese note. This is darker, more blackberry, black raspberry type flavor. A little bit of mocha. It's dense. Kind of traditional flavors. Wine 5 was quite clean. If you ever go to Italy and have real balsamic vinaigrette, it's so good. A lot of people don't realize, especially in America, if you never had it before, how actually sweet and fruity it is. That's when I get here. I'm really excited to see, because these are all some pretty famous appellations and some lesser known ones, how they show next to each other. I have heard some people complain in the comments, how do you know this is completely blind? I learned just as much doing these tastings as you do, and the reason I do them a lot of times is because I want to learn. I don't have a horse in the race, so whatever, take it for what it is. If you don't want to believe me, that's fine. Wine 7, really ripe. God, these are so funny. A lot of these are more denser Sangioveses than I would expect. This has pine, black raspberry. This would even remind me of kind of some Sardinian wines because it's got that tar sage note. Wine 7 comes back and it cleans off the palate with fresh acidity. When I think of great Sangiovese, I think of this orange peel-like acidity that I absolutely adore, absolutely love. This is the type of wine number 7 that I'm gonna score pretty well. Maybe not everybody's gonna love it because it's got all these complexities other than fruit, but I really give it credit for how the fresh acidity wipes the palate clean and then the length on it. Beautiful wine. Wine 8's got the cedar mocha type note along with the sour cherry fruit flavors. Wine 8 is just balanced. It's just really good wine, whatever it is. I think a lot of people do have pretty good palates. If you're a wine professional, wine critic, wine writer, importer, you've tasted thousands of wines. So you have more context, you have more of a Rolodex and more memory, but most people have pretty good palates. Maybe sometimes they don't have the vocabulary. Wine 8, I think, is a wine that some people would just say, that's just really nice wine. It's really good wine. It's exceptional wine, whatever that is. I thought that wine 7 was piney. Wine 9 is super piney. It's so funny what blind tasting does to you. I don't think of having pine notes when it comes to Sangiovese, but that's what happens sometimes when you taste blind, I guess. Oh, right now it's pine, like some cherry comes out, black raspberry, red raspberry. At first, took me, it was so, it was literally like smelling pine leaves, kind of pulled me away. The palate just brought me right back because Sangiovese has this rush of acidity. Man, that's nice. Okay, wine 10, just another pure Sangiovese. Pure red raspberry, pure sour cherry, pure mocha. Really just wonderful flavors. Wine 10 is awesome. Absolutely just lovely. I get a retaste next to one of the wines that I liked a lot. Wine 10 is just, for me, killing it right now. Wine 10 doesn't come in with a whole lot of flash. Just somebody that's really classy, that steps in the room, attractive, maybe not too ridiculously attractive, and you're just like, wow, that person's got it going on. That's what wine 10 has. I'm gonna retaste it next to wine 5. I like all these wines. Of course, I'm biased because I like Sangiovese. Let's do the reveal. I flat out just really enjoyed some of these wines. The lowest scored wine here, it's kind of like the wine that I just want to drink on a daily basis. So let's, again, don't let scores throw you off. I don't think scores are the end all be all. It's a snapshot of a moment in time. I'm not the hugest fan of scores, but I'd rather see scores than not see scores because I know somebody put their opinion down on the line. But it comes down to your palate and what you enjoy. So that's my little spiel here. I'm going to reveal the wines, talk about the appellations as we reveal them, okay? Sorry, I made a mistake. The second to lowest scored wine Toscana is the wine that I think I'd like to drink on a daily basis. Wine number 3. I think it was a good wine. Barnyard Funky. I'm going to give it 90 points because here's the thing. It's just not showing the best right now. It's just not revealing everything to me. I can tell on the palate it's a really good wine. Maybe chalk it up to bottle variation or with time. Let's take a look here. Wow. One of the most expensive wines in the bunch. This is the Banfi Brunello di Montalcino Castello Banfi 2017. One of the most expensive wines, 80 bucks. So Brunello di Montalcino is the area. Sangiovese is a little bit darker. Brunello is the clone of Sangiovese. There are, I think, over 150 different clonal variation. A lot of people hate on Banfi. I really like them because they put Brunello on the map in America. I'm shocked. 90 points, still very good wine. I thought that would just show a lot better. Wow, maybe I should just put the Rosso di Montalcino in there because I really like that wine. Wow. Brunello di Montalcino in the south of Tuscany, usually regarded as the best expression of Sangiovese because there's a long aging requirement. Sometimes I think they're held in wood just a little bit too long. I like the Rosso di Montalcinos right under that because of the absurd value for money. Biondi Santi, which I was just at the estate last year, is the founder of Brunello di Montalcino. Banfi's probably never gonna ever send me samples again. Okay, next up, number 1. Wow. Number 1, 90 plus points. Bright, medium-bodied, everyday wine. This is the wine. It's not as complex as maybe all these, and I don't want this to fool you the score. This is the wine that I really want to drink kind of on an everyday basis. It might even be expensive too. It just might be that lighter expression of Sangiovese. If it's really affordable, I'm going to tell you to run out and get this as a daily drinker. Really nice. Pure wine. This is the Noelia Ricci, Godenza, Sangiovese Superiore. Beautiful label. Predapio from Emilia Romagna, which is probably the home of Sangiovese. This is 32 bucks. I've seen it as low as 23 bucks. I think this is exceptional. This is pure Sangiovese. This gets me excited. Emilia Romagna, home to some of the greatest food in Italy, home to Parma ham, Parmesan Reggiano. In the past, Sangiovese Romagna, not as good quality, too oaky, but producers like this one doing an excellent job. That's a wine I want to drink tonight. Go out and seek it out. Beautiful wine, just pure. And I think it's a minimal intervention producer. Next one up. This was the oakiest by far, round. I think a lot of people are going to like it. A little bit of a darker style. Remember I said it's a little bit rounder? Let's take a look. This is the Terre Margaritelli. This is the Freccia degli Scacchi. This is a Torgiano Rosso Riserva 2008. Agio is a small village in Umbria, which is right under Tuscany, dedicated to Sangiovese. You can also blend Caniolo, Momolo, Colorino. It's basically kind of the same blend as Chianti Classico. I think you can do Merlot, Cabernet, Syrah as well. Very small appellation, only 4 producers. I was just there last year. First time I'd tasted some of the wines. Pretty impressive. This is 35 bucks. Village is just south of Perugia. I also did a vertical tasting of some Lungarotti, which is one of the founding members of Torgiano. We tasted all the way back to 74, and I was super impressed with the wines. This is the Riserva, so it's a little bit of a higher level. I really like their Torgiano Rosso, which I think is a wine that's like 18 bucks. A little bit of a bigger style if you like that. Also, again, I tried to keep to the same vintages for these wines. I thought I was going to stick to that, and then when producers start sending me wines, I saw, oh, that's not going to happen. All right, number 9. First, way too piney for me. It's the one on those I was like, wow, this is a lot of pine. But the acidity, the structure, the beauty, it brought me back. 92 points. Number 9. Let's take a look here. This is the Basile ad Agio. This is from Montecucco, Sangiovese Riserva 2017. This is, I think, a biodynamic producer, minimal intervention producer. This comes in around 35 bucks. Montecucco, in the south of Tuscany, you have Brunello di Montalcino, which is the most famous. Just off to the southeast of that is Vino Nobile di Montepulciano. And just to the southwest of that is Montecucco, not a well-known area. All 3 appellations, you can see Mount Amiata, if I remember. It's a triangular mountain. I think it's an extinct volcano. Dominates the skyline. Nice wine. It's the first time I tasted wines from this producer. Montecucco, this is one of the more expensive ones. I know that you can get some Montecucco Sangiovese at under 15 bucks, so almost next to nothing. Cool, huh? Wine number 2, 92 plus points. More oak, had some of those traditional balsamic notes I was talking about. 92 plus. Let's take a look. I am shocked. This is the Riecine di Riecine Rosso Toscana 2018. It's most expensive, 89 bucks. I've really liked this wine the past 2016, one of the greatest Sangioveses that I've ever had. This is the Toscana IGT. This is kind of the appellation that Tuscany came up with to counter the Super Tuscan movement. Before the Super Tuscans, if they were made outside appellation laws, they were labeled as Vino da Tavola, table wines. That's the lowest classification at the time. Yet some of those wines were more expensive than the appellation wines. So Tuscany, Italy came up with the Toscana Rosso IGT system. This weird pricing system. In the US, 89, I've seen it in Italy for like 40. I'm surprised that was bigger because some vintages of that really remind me of Burgundy. Really, I know a lot of people hate that comparison, but it is what it is. Also make great Chianti Classicos, that producer. Also tied with that wine, number 6 here. 92 plus points. Very balsamic. Remember, this is the one when I went about the balsamic vinaigrette. I went on that little rant about what balsamic vinaigrette tastes like. That's what it really reminded me of. It's darker, it's long, and it doesn't surprise me that it's darker. This is the Fattoria Le Pupille, Morellino di Scansano, Riserva 2017. Here's the kicker, 25 bucks. I think this wine is always great value for money. Their most famous wine is Safredi, which is a Bordeaux blend. Morellino, another clone of Sangiovese in Maremma in the southwest corner. Yeah, southwest. In Maremma, used to be a marsh there, a little bit warmer there. This, along with their IGT, Poggio Valente, shows that in those warmer areas of Tuscany, you can produce great Sangiovese. Moving down the ladder here, we have wine number 7, 93 points here. This also had sage and pine notes, but it had a bright acidity that I really, really enjoyed about it. 93 points. Another of these odd appellations. This is the Capazana, Villa de Capazana Carmignano 2018, 29 bucks. So again, 93 points, 29 bucks. Heck of a deal. This is just to the northwest of Florence. This appellation, Carmignano, small, relatively unknown appellation, they require you to blend in a little Cabernet Sauvignon in the blend. I know this is 20% Cabernet Sauvignon, 80% Sangiovese. So basically a Super Tuscan with a DOCG kind of. Look at these two wines here. Highly recommended at that kind of price point. Before we get to the top 3, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Click on the bell so you know when new videos come out. And let me know, do you love Sangiovese as much as I do? What is your favorite appellation for Sangiovese? Top 3. Number 8 here. This was just balanced. Remember I just said, I think a lot of people would just say that this wine is nice. It's just balanced. 93 plus points. I think it was really, really good. It is really, really good. This is the Boscarelli, Vino Nobile di Montepulciano, Riserva 2017. I've seen it everywhere from 35 to 50 bucks. This to me is my favorite producer of Vino Nobile di Montepulciano. A lot of people get confused with Montepulciano di Abruzzo, which is a different appellation on the coast, Adriatic coast of Italy, deals with the Montepulciano grape. Vino Nobile is one of the great historic appellations for Sangiovese. There, the grape is known as Prunello Gentile. Boscarelli makes excellent wine. This was just balanced. I might have even underscored that. Excellent wine. The top 2. Number 5 here. Very floral, sweet and sour fruits. I thought it was outstanding. I gave it 95 points. I'm really excited to see what this... Wow. This is the cheapest wine in the bunch. This is the Torre Bisenzio Sangiovese. This is an Umbria Rosso. So this is just an IGT. Young producer 2019. This comes in at 22 bucks. And the thing here is you can only kind of get this in at the estate in Umbria. I am shocked. The cheapest wine, 95 points, did that well. It was just floral. It was pretty. It was just an excellent wine. Umbria is just to the south. Oh, I'm just shocked. Sorry I gotta gather myself for a sec. So blind tasting so powerful, man. Umbria is just to the south of Tuscany. It's the greenest area in Italy. It's the only province in Italy that's not bordered by the sea or another country. I went there last year for a bunch of Anteprimas and I fell in love with that place. It's a place I really want to go again. It's just green, pastoral, good food, and I am 20 euros, 22 bucks, and you're getting, to me, my palate blind, which is a 95 point Sangiovese. That's shocking. Number 1, pure, balanced, long, 96 points. 96 points. This is the Badia Coltabuno Chianti Classico Riserva. $36, 2017 Chianti Classico. You know, I sing its praises over and over again as a place to get fine wine at great prices. 36 bucks for a wine for my palate, scored 96 points. Absurd. This is a very traditional producer. They make several Chianti Classico Riservas. This is even their cheaper one. The humbling power of blind tasting. A lot of people think that maybe Brunello would come out on top, and that's just how the cork crumbles sometimes. I'm just shocked. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, guys. Thanks a lot. I'll see you soon. Wow.